Okay, here we're going to look at an exciting option for creating some really photorealistic images from Catia. There's an icon at the bottom called Photo Studio Easy Tools, and if we select that, it pops up with this render dialog box. Now we have a background. You're probably wondering, well, where does that come from? We'll show you here in just a second. We'll select an area of the screen to render, and we're going to drag our mouse across the screen here, and we can redefine these little ends of our selection area if we like, and then we'll hit render. We'll just take a quick look at what this does then. And it creates a nice rendered image which we can save then to the desktop. Save it as, let's call it 1. Save, okay. And now on my desktop I'll open that image, and wow, we have a nice beautiful image with a background. Okay, let's take a look at how we got here. Okay. How did the background go in? Well, there's this option here to select a scene. And in the scene there are several tabs here on the scene. One is to change the lighting for the scene. We already had a video on lighting and how that it can be changed. And it's the same panel here. Let's adjust our lighting about like that. And then we have these predefined scenes that we can select. Okay. I'm going to select custom, and I'm going to select no background. I'm going to turn the background off. But what I am going to do is I am going to have a ground. And the ground, if you put your mouse on it, you can drag it down, farther, or up. I'm going to drag it up to just below the wheels. And I'm going to put my light source right up on top. And then I'm going to render it. Okay, and I'm going to rotate it about like this and do a little rendering. Now hopefully what this will give me is some nice shadows underneath my airplane on the ground. And if you were to change the ground to be a little bit farther away, then if you rendered it, the shadows would be cast on that ground level wherever that is. Okay? Great. Now, if you're doing something like adding in a predefined, let's say I'm flying across the water here, maybe I don't really want a shadow or a ground at all, so I'll come over here and I'll turn my ground off. And I'll make it so I'm flying across here, and I'll put the light source kind of at an angle like this and say render. And there's different qualities of rendering and things you can do. This is the quick render button. There is a full-blown workbench on this that you can get to from start. And under infrastructure, there's real-time rendering and photo studio. These are high-power workbenches that go well beyond what we're showing you here. Okay. Now, in addition to that, you can do a background image. Let's say you were surfing the web and you found an aircraft hangar image and you saved that down locally. Then you could select this option here to go pick that image and say open, and put your airplane in your own little aircraft hangar. And then in this case, I may want to turn the ground on and put the ground right underneath my wheels, adjust it so that it's just perfect in my hangar, and then say render. Now in this case, I'd probably want to make a little bit bigger render area so that I could see a little bit of my shadows. There we go. So there's your shadow on the floor of your aircraft hangar.